often. But yes, it's not the best of determining two. Hey, let's start here. And this is where the YouTube video is going to start. Welcome. Hello, friends, and welcome back to LUTI Div 8 America. Absolute Zero taking on the MC Lumistars. This is a semifinals matchup. Both of these teams did not win their group. They upsetted the teams they were scheduled to play in round one, and they are moving on here. Beat the tar out of the teams that they were supposed to play in round one. Absolute Zero beat Inker Swim, the number 1 seed, 5-1. MC Lumistars beat Los Santos 5-0. We are not doing auto cam because we're not a bunch of babies. We are running this camera right. We're not going to awkwardly be specking somebody stuck in the corner, picking their nose. We're going to be following the action all the time. And let's just, before we do that, okay, here's where I screwed up last week. I think I need to hit ZL and down instead of like the other top-down camera. Maybe we can rotate that sucker in at some point. Let's try this. It's easy. Winner gets to go on and face Mystical Inc., who beat Drifting Tide 5-4 on the opposite side of this bracket. Loser will play Drifting Tide in the bronze medal match, and this is Div 8 America. There are two different Div 8s, the World and America. As we were seeding Div 8, we came to realize a lot of these Div 8 teams seem pretty close to each other, at least on paper. That might not be the case in actuality. So it made sense to do just a bigger Div 8 instead of a Div 8 and a Div 9 with a Div 10. Got a technical win. Still counts as 5-0. Hey, your best ability is availability. So you can show up here. The awkward long intro. That's never a good sign. Bamboo coming out from Absolute Zero. Splatbrella coming out from the side of Lumistars. Double armor. Double midline. Splatbrella immediately going down. Still kind of similar. You know, it's not exactly quote-unquote meta weapons here that you're seeing from each side, but you're still seeing the same kind of concept. Shooters of some variety. The Brella, you don't really see a lot anymore. The Brella's already gone down twice. Trade kind of happening right there in mid. It looks like Lumistar's just kind of opting to go with this. Let's just put some armor on the field. Let's keep our Brella covered in ink. See if we can make something happen here, but for the most part, a lot of issues trying to keep this Brella player alive who's just under duress from the start of this game. Armor getting popped here, the Tri-Slosher going down, and the basket is popped into the favor of Absolute Zero. This would be a good time to test this camera out. And it looks like Lumistars is going to clean up here. So no harm, no foul, except for that. I think we're good here. 29 points, not the craziest of scores. I count that as a dub for Lumistars to hold off here. And now, with this map right here, and a nice fall-off kill by the K-Pro, if you can just gather up a lot of clams, you get a wipe on the enemy team, you can move so quickly and get in right into position here. And it's so, you just score so quickly. And that's why you don't want to get wiped right here. 3 players going down. See, this was kind of what I'm talking about. If Lumistars, this player really needs to stay alive, doesn't, so that's a wipe. So yeah, they get lead right here, but look, they're already in position to score. That's why getting wiped here is so critical. And that's why you see so many comebacks on this map. So many back and forths. You see Lumistars just kind of forced to defend right here, just trying to keep everybody alive, trying to come back. Tri-Slosher attacking this right side, gets one, gets a nice trade there as well. So man advantage completely in the favor of Absolute Zero right now, Lumistars. Oh, nice kill with the bomb. And I'm not convinced they're going to get lead here. Who's got the clams? This player, nice splat through the bubbles there with the Splatbrella. Oh, they did make it in time. Wow. So that gives them lead. Tri-Slosher's going to jump out, and you got the squeezer right here, so now you're ready to defend, and you're ready to stop any kind of counter push getting thrown your way. So a nice score and even better defense there from Absolute Zero. By the way, I was talking about this this Splatbrella player for Lumistars, kind of struggling early going, taking a lot of L's. Currently top fragging. 7 KA, make that 8. Does have some armor to work with as well. Trying to get behind those foil squeezer, popping these bubbles. Does make the connect and look the team with the lead being more aggressive. Opting to jump out though. So no, they don't really get anything out of that push. Just giving another power clam to the enemy team. A minute 30 left to go here. They can get lead. But no, they get wiped, so now they got a hard defend. Absolute Zero starting to push up here, getting control of mid. Minute 20 left to go here. Great back and forth game so far. Seems pretty even. Lumistars not getting a ton of splats in comparison. Actually, no, splats are pretty equal. Tri-Slosher just kind of busting out people right here. 2 players going down. This K-Pro desperately needs to stay alive. Easier said than done when there's a Tri-Slosher just eating people alive. 14 KA. The basket gets popped. That's going to do it. Tri-Slosher feasting. Nom, 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 nom in game 1 there. Giving Absolute Zero the lead in the set. But again, good back and forth. I think Lumistars just sold a little too much to the devil there, trying to get some pushes going. But that's just that map. That's just Clan Blitz. That's just how it goes. I don't know what the map list is, but this is, if you're just... Oh, come on. No, come back. Or do they have a roster change? Okay. You know, it's, I'm assuming they have some preset rotations that they got. If you got a deep roster, the ability to sub out players in and out is a really nice feature, especially for something like LUTI, where you can kind of game plan like, okay, we want our Wolfie and our Milo in on the Splat Zone Skipper, because what those 2 players do on Splat Zone Skipper is just so awesome. It's kind of the advantage. My team did that a couple seasons ago. We used our entire roster in one game. And the opponent was not crazy happy about that, but we won, so we don't care. But being able, yeah, the flexibility, it keeps your opponent a little bit off guard, adds a little bit of unpredictability until it forces the enemy team to really study you over the course of the entire set, right? Because, like, okay, they brought in Wolfie, they brought in Milo. What did they use that other game? Why are they bringing them in specifically? And you see Lumistars just kind of taking a little bit of time here. It's like, all right, what adjustments do we need to make here? The Brella was working out for a little bit. You don't see Brella a lot just because it's hard to do online with the latency. You hear Brella players so many times, Splat Brella players specifically, like, oh, how did they kill me? I was behind my Brella. It's like, well, on their screen, you probably weren't behind the Brella. LAN environment works really well. Lumistars is Bravo. They get the right side advantage, so to speak. The superior right side of the map. I'm afraid to use this map in Loink just because I don't like how it's not symmetrical. I mean, I don't feel like there's an actual legit advantage, but technically there is, being the Bravo team here. But I don't think anybody's lost the map because I am not a crazy fan of these long intros. That is sus. Dynamo. Gold Dynamo. Stick with the Splatbrella. And Absolute Zero say, hey, we don't have a Splatbrella, but we have a Tintabrella. Does that work out for you? There's a suction bomb behind him. Player going down on each side. Zone just kind of stalled out here at the moment. Oh, and we do. There explains. There, in fact, explains where this long intro is coming from. The Dynamo player DC'd. And you need to stop playing, Lumistars. You need to stop playing. You can get a replay here, I'm pretty sure. But they're still fighting, so this is going to count. They're just going to play 3v4? Now they're jumping back, and now they're stopping. Okay. I was about to say, if you play that out, it's going to count, but they're stopping there. So we will get the replay here. Off of that. It probably just took them a little bit of time to recognize that their player wasn't there, but that explains the long intro. The Dynamo player. It's kind of working out in their favor. Or not really working out in their favor there. So they can't get a DC. You have to stop playing if you want to replay. You don't get a free opportunity to try to win a 3v4 and get a replay in the tournament. They did stop. It took them a minute, but then I think once they realized, oh wait, our Dynamo's gone. Let's just replay that. I don't have the LUTI DC rules pulled up, but I would assume, just like any other tournament, it's the standard. What do you want? What is this? Okay. Accept that. Let's just pull it up real quick. I think you just get like one replay, I would assume. That is the standard. There are no lag rules in LUTI. There's no way. Could you imagine? I mean, this is a 24/7 tournament. Could you imagine? Hey, let's take this lag clip to help desk and just pause this until somebody on staff wakes up and looks at it. Like there, so that's why there's no lag rules. You can't do that in LUTI. And lag rules are stupid anyways. But they're waiting for Lumistars, waiting for their opponent to kind of come in here. LUTI rules. Welcome back to the LUTI rule stream. Match protocol. Disconnects. Each team is allowed a single disconnect replay during a set as long as it abides by the following rules. 70 points or more. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. So you get one replay. And that's it. That's what they're using right here. And we're waiting for this player to come back. And if this was absolute zero that has a player DC'd, who cares? Obviously they have 6 players ready to go. It's Lumistars who appear to only have 4 players. So not sure what this DC issue is. This player's internet just exploded. We did have a long intro both games. Long intro game 1. You saw the long intro there game 2. I don't think you get DC warnings for private battles. I think that's just League. League or solo queue. I think you can DC all day long in private battles and not get any punishment from Nintendo, the 5-minute thing or whatever. The player is back. It's good to see. As is customary in DC traditions, everyone has to ready up. You can't change weapons. To ready up immediately, and they do just that. Game 2 for real though. DC happens again, you just gotta play it out. Everything's right as rain, both sides here. No anchor, as we see this big fight kind of busting out here in mid. Top mid here. You kind of want to control the spine area. It's easier to do with some weapons over others. I wonder why they decided to go with the Dynamo here. Wolfie didn't get the splat there. Now, Spectator Cam, you see a little bit of Jankus Dex over here. Almost getting a triple. Ultimately does. The K-Gal being the last player left alive. All throws their Booyah Bomb to kind of retreat. The Spectator Cam tries to smooth everything out to make it look more natural. So what you're seeing on Spec Cam isn't exactly what's 100% happening in the lobby that the players are seeing. But it looked like they were going to get that splat right there. Wolfie going at it again. 2 players down for Absolute Zero. Does get the pick cleanly there. On Arls, able to cap zone with it as well. This T-Tech. Opening push going. You know, you want to get control of that garden area, which is the bottom spot right there. Obviously, but without having long range, hello. Holding that garden area isn't crazy as important. You kind of want to just control the spine, because there's not a whole lot you can do individually at the garden, but still, a lot of splats going out. Even with that hammer, actually, they were somehow able to cap. They only had 2 players left alive. Absolute Zero did. So Lumistars taking another stab at trying to get control of lead here. And is not going to do that just yet. 4 players alive. And that is basically delayed white. What? Booyah Bomb just kind of thrown from the heavens. I think it did actually take down 1 player. But Absolute Zero able to get control zone. Now 2 players are going down. So you got all 4 players up here. Able to just kind of focus. And look who's coming behind all 4 of them. It's Wolfie. Gets 1. Armor's going to keep that player alive for a little bit longer. But that's kind of the interesting thing about this map, is that there's constantly people coming behind you. And Yang just trying to stay alive here a little bit longer. But look, once again, look who's going to be coming down this spine right here. It's so different. It's just such a different map compared to all the others. People just constantly coming from behind you. There's, like, it's not like they're flanking. They're just moving. And naturally it just becomes a flank, just how the map is laid out. But here we go, 2v2. Arls needed to stay alive right there. Instead, the K-Gal able to get the splat. Another 1v1 situation with Yang here. They do cap the zone. The Tint player jumps out. They do got Hammer ready. Look at this, Park. Parker here does have Hammer ready. Does have some armor too. Armor does combine with Hammer. And somebody realizes a little too late they're about to get smashed in the head here. But 2 more players going down. Lumistar's doing a lot better job of getting picks, or at least the K-Gal is. Sheepy. Able to get 11 KA, leading everybody so far in this match. Combined with the Dynamo, doing a good job of keeping attention away. The Gal does go down, but they do get control of the zone. But, man, they got to hold onto it for a good chunk of time. Arls really would benefit from winning the splat and decides to give up on the fight. Tried to jump out. That wasn't going to work out anyway. Yang doing a good job here, getting their 4 splat. They can get Yang going the same way that they were before. Nice use of the splat bomb rush against the wall. And that gives control of zone to Lumistars. Sheepy working here, this 1v1 fight. That Tent, oh, the ink wall goes down before it can take out the Tent. So now the Tent Umbrella, who does have Hammer yet again, ready to go, waiting for the right opportunity. Surely the splat players are aware of it. They are not. Get smacked. Dodging around the Hammer. Can hold on to the zone. The Dynamo's the last player left alive. They cannot. That is a wipe. And the zone is saved barely into the favor of Absolute Zero. Yang gets a nice pick up there. More players kind of funneling in. 2 players going down. So surely Lumistars is going to get control of zone here. Dex doing a good job of kind of taking advantage of the Tin Umbrella player, but now all those players go down. Absolute Zero dropping. You want to wait for your teammates to come back up here. A Booyah Bomb getting busted out a little bit early from Lumistars. As we see a Booyah Bomb coming out there. All the penalty points are gone. The game is frozen. And look who's coming behind us. The K-Gal trying to take down Dex. Does get the splat. Wolfie. Oh, they got a cap zone. This zone's going to stall out. It's going to be a win for Absolute Zero. They can't flip it back in their favor in time. You can't hold it on for too long. And there was another DC at the end there. I didn't see that. That would have played it as a role there. But man, they had an opportunity. Lumistars did. They did have an opportunity right there. 17 splats with the K-Gal. But ultimately, the combination that Absolute Zero busted out there was just a little too much to overcome. And yeah, we do have another DC. That same player DC'd again, I guess, at the end there. The game count, you see they're not back into the lobby. So this is going to be an issue. I don't know if Lumistars has a sub available. They just got to go with the 4 they got. Maybe they can ask the Varo, one of the Absolute Zero players. They seem to have more than enough people for their set. So we wait for this player to get back in here. But yeah, even with the DC, Lumistars had their shots to get control of the zone and hold on it long enough to get lead there. And if they cap the zone, if they find a way to overcome all the things that was just being thrown at them, they can overcome that. And they could just cap the zone and they can get the win. Because they had the man advantage. It's just you can't... Absolute Zero did such a good job of just stalling the zone. They didn't flip it into their favor, but they stalled it just long enough to where the game just called it and said, no, technical win for you. Just unfortunate these DCs are happening. And, you know, it plays into your mind. There are no lag rules, but that probably is affecting some of the things. Like, we might not be seeing exactly what is going on, again, because of the spectator cam. As I have slowly risen up the rankings on this player list because people keep DCing and subbing out. As we just patiently wait here for game 3 to start. It looks like tower control main stage. Good map, fun map. Bell's back in. Belly. B Eli. Give them that Bravo tag and we're good to go. Hopefully they stay in. Again, they've used their one replay. So if there is a DC from here on out from the Lumistar side, they just got to play it out. But man, I've been there before. It's so frustrating when it's you or your teammate is just having DC issues and it's like, Mom, can you turn off Netflix for a second and just let me till I can finish this set? If you have an Ethernet cord, it makes such a difference. It makes such a difference having an Ethernet, having just consistent internet. But it's not always a possibility. Like, I have to run a 50-foot cable up my stairs. But it's so worth it. It's worth it. I do not play a tournament without my Switch being connected to an Ethernet. No roster change for Absolute Zero. Sticking with the same 4 that they had. That Tri-Slosher who just ripped Lumistars a new one in that game 1. I believe that's who got subbed out. We haven't seen them back yet. Milo being a little impatient. I can understand that. The set was supposed to start at 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's now 8:51 and we're just on game 3. Lumistars trying to take a win away here and try to build some momentum. They've been close last 2. This has been a close set so far. And I get the sense this might not be a close set for much longer with how that long intro kind of played out there. But hopefully all the players can stay in here and we can get this one going. Nautilus coming out from the side of Absolute Zero with Milo. Stick with that K-Gal. If I'm Lumistars, I got 17 KA. I stick with that K-Gal. It's a good weapon for a reason. No reason to feel bad about using it. Early map control going into the favor of Lumistars. No splats on either side. The Ray being fired from the C-Jet. So Ray spam. Actually, Ray on both sides. I completely missed this. There's a Charger player right here. This is the Splatbrella player using the Charger and getting a nice splat on the player on tower. That is Milo. So we're going to see some Charger action. You don't see this every day. In this day and age, in this meta. Charger's a dying breed. Good to see it in action. Good to see him getting some flat. Big paint-heavy comp here from the side of Lumistars. The question is, can they stay alive with the more, arguably the more aggressive comp coming out from the side of Absolute Zero. K-Gal going down. One player right around the side of that right wing. Two players going down now for Lumistars. Milo just trying to keep control of things. The Stingray getting fired here. Takes care of the Nautilus. Absolute Zero starting to push the tower now, but more importantly, they're keeping control of things here. Look, not a single green player inside of the tower, except for this player popping a Booyah Bomb right here. And that does take down one player, but two players are down from the side of Lumistars. Absolute Zero clears this checkpoint at ease. That's good. Who cares? Can you get this second checkpoint, though? That's what I want to know. And with two players advantage on the side of Absolute Zero, it is a possibility. The K-Gal being alive, starting to push up. Looks like nobody is on tower. So this push will be stalled a little bit, but the team pushing the tower does have control of mid. That is critical if you want to keep a push going or not. As long as you got mid, your push is going to keep going and going and going. Interesting trade there. Very interesting trade. Nautilus going with the Dynamo. Again, spectator cam shows you some jank stuff. Don't assume that's what actually happened right there, but a little bit of a delayed trade. As the C-Jet player trying to use this Stingray for offensive purposes. Takes care of the Charger. It's already pretty weak, but now you're stuck with a K-Gal in your face. That's never going to work out too well. Can they clear this checkpoint? Two players down, man advantage in the side of Lumistars. So it looks like this push still is going to keep going, though. Because look, they have control mid, and I think this C-Jet player is just kind of parking out back there. Park right here. So teammates are just kind of jumping back to this person who is staying alive, builds up Stingrays, and whenever someone dies, they just jump to there, and they just keep going. Two players now down for the side. This Charger player really stuck in an awkward spot. If they can get a splat, that'd be great, but it's hard to do so. Takes care of the C-Jet, but more importantly, they cleared the first checkpoint. Now you got Wolfie up in your base, doing a ton of damage. And three players going down. This is starting to look like a potential KO situation right here. Dex able to clear this last checkpoint. The Dynamo gets the splat a little too late. Milo jumping in here. And this one is finally... It's been 3 minutes and 40 seconds, but finally, Lumistars is able to get out of their side of the map. I mean, that's just so... They just held mid for so long. That's why that push happened right there. The longer you hold mid, the more likely it is that a push is actually going to happen here. Ariel's starting to go in, trying to make kind of a hero play right here. Almost gets rewarded with a double. Instead, just turns out to a bit of a delayed trade. And more time coming off the clock. This K-Gal player right here working around this left side, trying to make a play. Ultimately gets taken down. And Yang, to their credit, has been playing really well all set long. It's just they don't really have a way to get the splats they need. The man advantage has been completely in the favor of Absolute Zero so far. This player needs to kind of make a couple of splats right here to keep this set going a little bit longer. Only 20 seconds left to go. And the last player left alive jumps back to spawn with the GG Ray. 15 seconds left to go. 3 checkpoints in the way. Lumistars can still lose it, and there goes the Dynamo. Yet again. So okay, I'm calling the, I'm assuming this one's just going to end. flank coming around the backside there. Yeah, that's just frustrating. At least we can say the DCs have not been the issue so far. Like, the DCs are at least coming at the end of the match. I mean, maybe you could have made the case for the DC in Game 2 to kind of flipping into the favor of Absolute Zero. But MC Lumistars, the DC was not the problem right there. Park just kind of set up shop with C-Jet in mid, and there was just nothing really Lumistars could do to get that player out of there. And as long as it just stayed there, everyone can just jump right back in, take over that spot, and just keep going. 3-minute, 40-second push. And this, oh, that is a Absolute Zero player. I believe that's the Tri-Slosher. Who played really well in that first game. Coming back in here, and you can see why it's Muscle Forge Fitness. Slosher's going to work out really well in this map with the little slamps on the left and right side of the map there. A couple spots you can ledge camp from. So Milo going out. I believe that was the Nautilus player coming in for Kate. But the question is, Lumistars. They, man, I don't know with their roster, but if they have a fifth player who could just come in at all, that would be a big help, because they've already used their replay. And if those DCs come at the right time, it can, like, where you have a huge lead and then the DC happens, then it becomes, I'm sure it is extremely frustrating, which it is, but I'm sure it's just kind of takes a turn for the worse when you have a huge lead and you lose a game because of a DC, instead of, well, we DC'd, but it's not like we were going to come back anyways. Absolute Zero up 3-0 in this best of 9 set. First 1 to 5 wins. First 1 to 5 wins. We wait yet again. First off, I just want to, I guess while we're waiting, thank you for coming in and watching this one. If anybody would like me to stream their LUTI sets from any div, this is Div 8. I did Div 6 last week. I am available like 12 p.m. I'm available during the daytime. If there's anybody on... What in the world? Bishop showed up and then left. What player is that team on? If there's anybody else that wants me to stream their LUTI sets and both teams agree to it, I'm all for it. If it's an EU team during the weekday, if it's on the weekend, and I'm not doing a tournament myself, I'm all for it. Next weekend be tricky because we're doing low ink. Play low ink, by the way, if you're eligible to play in low ink. These two teams are, to my knowledge. Rainmaker, Muscle Forge Fitness, MC Lumistars, if they can just win one game, build a little bit of momentum, and then you're good to go, right? Cookies and juice. Obviously, you don't want to go down 4-0 and be put in a situation where you have to do a reverse sweep. This is basically a must-win for Lumistars. First step, though, is going to be figuring out that Tri-Slosher, Kate, who's just eating people alive at Mako Mart, and is going to be really good here. Game 4, must-win situation, almost. And we didn't get the awkward long intro, but we do get not a Tri-Slosher, but the Sploosh 7. What has the most range on this Absolute Zero comp? The N-Zap? What are you, Hanron? Okay. Meanwhile, K-Gal, Dynamo, C-Jet sticking out. Octoshot coming out from the side of Lumistars. Two players immediately going down. Kate going in. One player going down on the side of Absolute Zero as well. As a Rainmaker picked up here by Dex. Nowhere really to go just yet. And one more player's coming in for Lumistars. Some high flying action. Two players going down. Caught on the... wow, the ink wall just kind of threw off their momentum right there. They had a little bit of a window to get some points going, but now 2 players going down for absolute zero, and they're just swarming. The Dynamo player, when they can stay in the lobby, have been pretty effective so far, putting a lot of paint down, cranking out those armors. Is the Rainmaker's just going to reset here? Looks like Lumistars trying to get some picks here. This player, man, the versatility on this player. Splatbrella, Charger, now coming out with the T-Tech. They do it all. This player literally does it all. All 3 roles. Support, Skirmisher, Anchor, Slayer. Love to see that. But again, it's Kate coming out here. Again, could have used Tri-Slosher. Instead, going with the Sploosh 7. You see a lot of Sploosh 7 for a Rainmaker. Just the speed, the aggression, the ability to kind of lead the charge with the hammer. You see that a lot. You don't see it as much as you used to. But man, this is a fast comp from this team. And look, waiting to get the splats right here. Absolute Zero, not crazy interested in picking up the Rainmaker until they do, with the Dynamo going down. Here comes the Stingray, combined with the Booyah Bomb. One of them has to get the pick on this Rainmaker. And it looks like they do, with 3 players able to get a splat. Or 3 players going down. And now Sheepy, who's been playing extremely well in this K-Gal, able to chase out the last player. And that ends this push. But I don't think Lumistars has touched the Rainmaker yet. It's only been 2 minutes. 2 players going down, so they're kind of forced to play in this defensive position right here. Dex going in, able to add a little bit of points. They don't have a lead they can feel comfortable with just yet. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tried. I thought they were going to get away with it, but they didn't. And that kind of shuts down that push right there. 50 remaining. Not a crazy good score, but it's a lead nonetheless. Lumistars picking up the Rainmaker for the first time in there as the clock ticks across the halfway mark here. Dynamo going down. Now the Stingray being the last player left alive. This is where the speed really is an issue. And your Dynamo's the last player left alive right here. Just throwing something, trying to just kind of hold people back. But there goes the hammer up top there. Nom, nom, nom. Kate, wipe. Game 4. Absolute Zero with the comp change. Too fast, too furious, and they got this one locked up at 4-0, one more game away from making grand finals of Div 8 America. Almost busted my computer right there. Yeah, the speed was just, they didn't have an answer to that. And that comp that Lumistars busted out, it couldn't handle that. Dynamo, C-Jet, like that comp's just not built to slow down that kind of aggression. It's unfortunate for them. But I mean, this is the Absolute Zero's versatility. This is the advantage of having this deep of a roster. And here comes, I don't think we've ever seen this player. Is this a 7th player joining here? Jishha? I think it was Milo and Wolfie joining in. Yeah, Milo's not here. And Kate's not here. I forget who else has been subbing in and out. But I think this is the 7th player that is joining in on this one. So Absolute Zero emptying the bench, letting the second string come in and finish this one out. Splat Zone's Art Academy. You can't have 5 players in here. What is this? You can't. No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't have a player spec unless the other team agreed to it. You can't do that. That's against the rules. But it's not my tournament, so I don't care. We'll let it go. I'm not going to say anything. But no, in any tournament, you can't just let one of your players spec there. Because what's the... I don't think this is what's happening, but what's to stop the other player from just unmuting themselves and be like, oh, they're all over here. I would assume both teams agreed to it. Or no, maybe they realized, wait, no. I know what the problem was. I think the player that they spectated there was the player they spectated there was the host. So they had to close the lobby and get a new host. That's why they didn't want the host in there. So that's why they had to do that. That's why they tried to put him on spec, but it didn't work out. It is what it is. But yeah, if you are... Here's a pro tip. Never agree to let the other person spectate. Never. Even if you trust... Like, never just assume that they're not going to, like, just do call-outs for stuff. I think I've done that before with, like, people I've really trusted. I'm going to show you guys all the passwords. If any of you join this, I'm banning you from chat forever. But yeah, never agree to let the opponent spectate a tournament set. Never do that. If somebody asks, hey, can we have our fifth just spectate? Tell them no. Absolutely not. But again, the reason they did it in that exact situation is because the host couldn't just leave without having to recreate the lobby. So I understand why. The only problem is now we gotta wait for everybody to join. At least, now let's kind of craft a scenario here. So Lumistars has to win 5 straight. They were competitive game 1 and 2. Game 3, not so much. Game 4 is Rainmaker. You're gonna have Rainmaker moments. What can Lumistars do to get back into this one? First off, they got to really pay attention to who's actually playing. Almost called them Aquatic Vanguard. Absolute Zero has a lot of different players. A ton of different players. And it seems like they're all kind of flexible, too. You can't just lock it. Oh, Kate's using Tri-Slosher. No, they're using Sploosh here. But now you're starting to see the same modes that you saw last time. If you paid attention and you go back and look, okay, what did they do last Splat Zone game? Who do they have in this time around? You can start to kind of predict what the comp is going to be, what you're going to go up against. And if you realize, oh, okay, so what we know they're not going to use that fast comp they just used. We can get away with using that Dynamo and the C-Jet again or something like that. You can start to kind of predict things. And if you can start figuring out what's going to be thrown at you, and you can adjust your comp. Lumistars has the ability to adjust. You saw Yang doing a Charger, a T-Tech, and Splatbrella. Like, those are all very different. It played very well with all 3 of those different weapons. So you have flexibility on your side to kind of adjust. But at this point, you want to try to impose your will on the other team in any sport that you do, right? You want to play your style and make the other team adjust to you. Absolute Zero's done that, and Lumistars has to adjust to them. It might not be what they want to do, but they have to come up with some sort of adjustment based on what Absolute Zero is doing. And it's now or never for them. Game 5, Splat Zone's Art Academy. Absolute Zero 1 win away from moving on to Grand Finals of Div 8 in America. And that is a Respawn Punisher E-Leader. That is the player using Nautilus. Man, Div 8. Do you guys not have mains anymore? Look at this. This is the Orange Inset player using Remix. Man, people just use any weapon they want. All kinds of weapons. I'd love to see it. You'll love to see a lot of versatility. And this is a Carbon Roller too. Isn't this the player that was using Inzap at some point? What is going on here? Comp's going willy-nilly here in Game 5. Lumistars off to an early lead. That E-Leader is going to be a bit of a difficulty. You can play Remix against the Charger, but you can't just sit right there. Oh, they got lucky. That E-Leader wanted that shot. Milo getting up top there. Able to kind of establish control here. A lot of bombs going to be thrown back their way. Dex kind of ledge camping right here. Does get taken down. 2 players going down for the side of Absolute Zero. Milo forced to retreat, obviously, with this E-Leader. And not all the splats coming out on both sides. It's only been 1 minute, sure. Until the E-Leader gets a nice pick right there. And Arl's just kind of, oh, I don't want to stay up here too long. Yeah. But the E-Leader gets taken down. Is this the K-Gal? Is this our local K-Gal player? Starting to light up people, gets stuck in their own drop. It's taken down, but the rest of Lumistars able to kind of jump back into this action here. Gets taken down a player with the bomb. This is the Dynamo player now, opting to go with the Junior. His lead shifts into the favor of Absolute Zero. A Booyah Bomb is ready to go until the E-Leader. Milo with the smack, and that cancels the Booyah Bomb. They should be able to get it back rather quickly because they didn't fire it here. And Yang can make a play. I don't think they're aware that Yang is right here, but oh, the Junior going down. Yang working around this backside. They do have Bomb Rush to go with, but the K-Gal player goes down as well. And now it's just Yang versus the world. And Absolute Zero has a date with Grand Finals of Div 8 coming out next week. Congratulations to them. They win 5-0 over Lumistars. I love the versatility of both teams. I like it a lot. I like that all the players can bust out different weapons as necessary. I like that all the players were good with all the weapons they were flexing too. It's refreshing. It's cool to see. But at the end of the day, Absolute Zero, just too much versatility. Just too many different things they can bust out there. And just a little too much skill on top of it. Congratulations to them. They are moving on to finals of Div 8. They're going to be taking on Mystical Inc., who survived Drifting Tide 5-4. MC Lumistars moving on to the bronze medal match to finish 3rd place in Div 8 of America. We got through this one. Hey, there were times we didn't think this set was going to get streamed. Or times we didn't think this was actually going to